Television with the most important events of the day. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, has received world-famous actor and film director Steven Seagal.
During the meeting with the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, Steven Seagal noted that he was pleased to visit Azerbaijan, saying that he was deeply impressed by what he saw in the country. Steven Seagal said he was amazed by the high-level organization of the first European Games, as well as the participation of a large number of athletes in the competitions. Hailing the unprecedented work related to the first European Games, Steven Seagal stressed the importance of promoting Azerbaijan's achievement in the world. The head of state thanked for kind works and said the first European Games was a historical event for the country and Europe. President Ilham Aliyev said that by hosting the Games at a high level, Azerbaijan set standards of the European Games. The head of state said Azerbaijan became a place where various international events and important sports competitions are held. Azerbaijan's success in all areas, including in culture and sports, were hailed during the meeting.
On September 21st, Republic Rehabilitation Center for the Disabled of the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection of Population was opened after major reconstruction. President Ilham Aliyev attended the ceremony.
President Ilham Aliyev came to attend the opening ceremony of the Republic Rehabilitation Center for the Disabled after major reconstruction. Minister of Labor and Social Protection of Population Salim Muslumov informed the head of state about the work done. Republic Rehabilitation Center for Disabled was opened in 1986 on the initiative of the nationwide leader Heydar Aliyev as the first medical facility in this sphere in the South Caucasus. The first name of the facility was Republic Dispenser of Medical Labor Examination and Social Rehabilitation for Disabled. A few years later, the word dispensary was replaced by the word center. In 1992, under the decision of the Cabinet of Ministers, the center was divided into two parts: Republic Center for Medical Labor Examination and Republic Rehabilitation Center for Disabled. Four-story building was constructed for the center in 1994. An additional functional diagnostic department was established in 1998. No major overhaul and reconstruction had been done ever since. The reconstruction started at the center in 2013 has been completed successfully. There is a photo stand in the lobby featuring the care of the nationwide leader Heydar Aliyev and President Ilham Aliyev for people with disabilities, their meetings with them. State Medical Social Examination and Rehabilitation Service under the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection of Population was established under the decree issued by President Ilham Aliyev on March 16 of 2015. Currently, Republic Rehabilitation Center for Disabled is functioning under this service. The center is engaged in examining and treating people with disabilities, including Karabakh War veterans who became disabled, fighting for Azerbaijan's territorial integrity as a result of January 20 Chernobyl and Afghanistan events. The center has physiotherapy and psychological correction, medical social rehabilitation, and functional diagnostics departments. Paraffin baths, aquatic therapy pool, therapeutic baths, various showers, treatment rooms, and phytobar are available at physiotherapy and psychological correction department. The large gym, additional training rooms have been fitted with the state-of-art equipment. Robotic devices have also been installed here. Important steps are underway in the country to strengthen medical and social rehabilitation of people with disabilities. This shows that improvement of the people's welfare has become one of the top priorities of the state policy. Social-oriented economic policy and President Ilham Aliyev's attention to strengthening social protection of the citizens demonstrate great importance attached to the human factor. The country's legislation regarding the people with disabilities has been improved in the recent years. New legal normative acts have been adopted. The amount of disability pensions and benefits is being increased. The state involves citizens in a number of social programs, including programs on rehabilitation, free rest, technical rehabilitation and provision with transport vehicles. In line with the policy to strengthen state care for the people with disabilities, the Cabinet of Ministers has financed the state program on the social protection of the people with disabilities. A number of significant achievements have been made over the past years to strengthen social protection of the hundreds of thousands of citizens with disabilities and improve their financial provision. The head of state was also informed about the conditions created at the Medical Social Rehabilitation Department. There are 50 beds in the department with 1, 2 and 3 bed wards. Necessary conditions have been created in all of the rooms. Persons undergoing rehabilitation treatment are admitted to the center through appointments of the Medical Social Expert Commissions, treatment prophylactic facilities, Ministry of Labor and Social Protection of Population. Persons with all kinds of disabilities over 16 are offered services at the center. The first group, disabled persons, undergo 21-day full rehabilitation course. The second and third group, disabled persons, 18-day full rehabilitation course here. Within this period, they are provided with healthy and natural food 3 times a day. The center is engaged in the rehabilitation and treatment of up to 1,000 people with disabilities a year. Attention is also paid to the treatment of the people with disabilities abroad. The center staff attend professional development trainings abroad, improving their knowledge and skills. State-of-the-art equipment had been installed at the Functional Diagnostics Department. Solution of the problems of persons who became disabled in Karabakh War of the Mahdi's families has always been in the focus of attention. Under the instructions and executive orders issued by President Ilham Aliyev, new multi-flat buildings, individual houses have been built in the capital and regions for the citizens falling under this category. New rehabilitation centers have also been built as a part of the state care for citizens with disabilities. The conditions created at the Republic Rehabilitation Center for Disabled once more show state care for people with disabilities. Reading room has opened at the center this year. The patients can use both books and e-library. It was underlined that center is also engaged in attracting patients in cultural activities, therapeutic sports, instilling hygiene habits, promoting healthy lifestyle, creating database of patients. Amenity planting has been done in the yard of the center. Conditions have been created for the patients to walk and have a rest outdoors.
Russia 1 TV channel of Russia broadcasted a story about Azerbaijan. Вести недели program of Dmitry Kiselov informed about the biased position of European Parliament against Azerbaijan.
The author of the Vesti Nedeli program of Russia 1 TV channel, well-known TV journalist and announcer Dmitry Kiselov, underlined that Milli Meclis of the Republic of Azerbaijan adopted an important decision on the relations with the European Parliament. According to him, the decision was an answer to the biased resolution of the European Parliament. The President of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, assessed the resolution as totally baseless political provocation based on lies and bias. The program also cited the words of President Ilham Aliyev. The head of state said the fate of the refugees that sought refuge in Europe is obvious. Those people are victims of a foreign interference. The country is demolished. Hundreds of thousands of people have died because of that. Millions lost their relatives. And what awaits them in Europe? Islamophobia, racism, xenophobia. The European Parliament should ponder on these issues. Dmitry Kiselov outlined that Azerbaijan has a secular stance among the countries where Islam is prevailing. It's hard to understand the radical position of the European Parliament against Baku, and it's really unexpected. Afterwards, the story by journalist of Russia 1 channel, Anton Lyada, was broadcasted. The story featured the ideas of tourists relaxing in Azerbaijan on the country. According to the author, such fast adoption of resolution means that Europarliamentarians do not want to accept the realities of Azerbaijan. They prepared a 24-article document without leaving their office, stated the author. The program also featured threats of the European Parliament members against Azerbaijan and the response of the head of state. For us, the resolution adopted by the European Parliament is nothing but a mere paper. Of course, I condemn it. I address to the foreign circles that want to subjugate Azerbaijan and want to say that all of your efforts are in vain. No force, no blackmail can affect the independent and national interest-oriented policy of Azerbaijan. The author of the story widely informs about the biased position of the West against Azerbaijan in the murder case of Rasim Aliyev and states that the politicization of the murder was a sabotage. Rasim Aliyev's family said that Europe and West have their own interests. They added that their son had never involved in politics. The ideas of representative of Azerbaijan in Parliamentary Assembly in the Council of Europe, Samet Seidov, were also conveyed. According to him, the ordinary domestic crime was politicized. Saying that a number of trainings were held for the opposition youth, the Russian journalist presented an interview with the chairman of the Central Asian and Southern Caucasian Freedom of Expression Network, Azar Hasrat. Azar Hasrat brought to the attention the vast expenditures aimed at committing unrest in the country with the facts. It was outlined that the first European Games were held on a high level. The story also informed about the awarding of the Armenian boxer Gevorg Manukyan by silver medal personally by President Ilham Aliyev, and it was emphasized that the head of state calmed the fans while they tried to boo the boxer. The author underlines that the resolution is nothing but a reaction to the refusal of Azerbaijan to approach by NATO. Only non-lethal threat of NATO is permitted in Azerbaijan, which obviously does not satisfy the organization. In conclusion, the story also informed about the cooperation prospects of Azerbaijan and Russia.
AD to the President in socio-political issues, Ali Hassanov commented on the detaining of a number of foreign mass media representatives by law enforcement agencies. Ali Hassanov underlined that the detentions are aimed at complying their activities with the laws of Azerbaijan.
AD to the President in socio-political issues, Ali Hassanov said that as in every country, the activities of mass media representatives are regulated according to respective legislation. The legislation of the country provides freedom of speech and information, independent activity of mass media agencies and journalists, the right to freely receive and impart information. In addition, journalists and representatives of both local and foreign mass media bodies operating in Azerbaijan must establish their activities within the framework of the laws. They must understand their responsibilities to the country and society and withdraw from illegal actions. AD to the President outlined that on March 18 of 2015, accreditation rules for foreign media outlets in the Republic of Azerbaijan were adopted. For e-accreditation of representative offices and journalists of foreign mass media outlets, a respective section was created on the website of Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Unfortunately, so far, Inter-Raz Euraz TV channels, Voice of America radio channel, Meydan TV internet publication, and a number of other foreign media agencies and their journalists do not follow the rules and are working illegally in the country. The detainings of a number of mass media employees are aimed at inviting them to comply their activities with the laws of Azerbaijan. Ali Hassanov pointed out that measures will be taken by the relevant authorities to anybody violating the laws of Azerbaijan, regardless of the working area and profession.
The members of Ad Hoc Committee of Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, established for monitoring of parliamentary elections in Azerbaijan, visited Central Election Commission.
During the meeting with the delegation from Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, the chairman of the Central Election Commission, Mazar Panahov, attached great importance to the relations of the Commission with the reputable international organizations, including the Council of Europe and its institutions, and brought to the attention that the sides must continue the mutually beneficial cooperation in a number of fields in connection with the elections. The head of delegation, Khordi Shukla, and other guests got acquainted with the carried out preparations for the elections. Answering the questions of delegation members, the chair of the Commission informed about the events organized within the framework of cooperation with the international organizations, taken steps and projected projects. During the meeting, the sides exchanged ideas in the prospects of cooperation and other issues of mutual interest.
The preliminary delegation of the Temporary Committee on the Election Observation Mission of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe is paying a visit to our country. Representatives of the Assembly held a series of meetings in the Milli Meclis.
The preliminary delegation of the Temporary Committee on the Election Observation Mission of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe first met with the Deputy Speaker, member of the neutral group represented in Milli Meclis, Vali Aliskerov. Speaking about the recent biased resolution of the European Parliament on Azerbaijan, Vali Aliskerov stressed the importance of cooperation as an equal partner in the mutual relationship. He noted that our country is always ready for such cooperation. He added that democracy, human rights values are very important to us, but preservation of our country's independence is the #1 issue. The Deputy Speaker clarified the questions of the guests about the election process in Azerbaijan. During the meeting with the representatives of the Yeni Azerbaijan Party, the sides exchanged views on the participation in the election process with the representatives of the ruling party. Deputy Executive Secretary of the party, Member of Parliament Siyavush Novruzov, said that Yeni Azerbaijan Party submitted candidature of 117 candidates for the upcoming elections. He noted that at present, those candidates are carrying out the election procedures in accordance with the law. Speaking about the last biased resolution of the European Parliament on Azerbaijan, the Member of Parliament said the document had no legal basis. All the necessary conditions are created for the observers to monitor the elections in Azerbaijan. The government of Azerbaijan never interferes in the work of the observer mission. These words were stated by the head of Azerbaijan delegation to the Parliamentary Assembly, Samat Seidov. During the meeting with our delegation of the Assembly, the sides exchanged views on cooperation between Azerbaijan and the Council of Europe. Once again, it was outlined that our country is always ready to cooperate with international organizations. We have mutual cooperation with all organizations, yet not blindly, national interests being the priority issue. The next meeting was held with the representatives of the other parties represented in Milli Meclis. Chairman of the Democratic Reforms Party of Azerbaijan, Member of Parliament Asim Mullazadeh, and others widely spoke about participation of their parties, national legislative base, the pre-election situation, and activities of the Commission. To properly assess the situation, our members of the Parliament stressed the importance of being familiar with the facts and realities of Azerbaijan. It was noted that this was one of the major factors contributing to the development of fruitful cooperation.
That was all for today. Thanks for being with us. Goodbye.